What's up? Damn, we got 3 people on. That's good. That's good. Aaron just let me know that he's gonna be on in like 5 minutes or so. Uh, here, hold up. Yeah, what's our theme, you guys? Oh yeah, is the American dream possible in America? Anyways, let me know. Let me know what's up, you guys. Who's on? Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up, you guys. Um, but yeah, Aaron's gonna join us any minute. Oh man. Whew. Been a busy last couple of weeks, guys. But is what it is. So yeah, what's exactly our topic though? Is that how I put it? Can I even look at this? Here, hold up. Dang, I don't even know what I'm doing, man. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, what's left of the American dream? Okay, now I remember. I remember fully now. Here, hold up. I think we're good. Yeah, you guys, I know it's been a while. What's up, crazy investor? Made in America. Yeah. Yeah, man, I've been seeing a lot of the news though. Damn, dude, Americans are suffering. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, on a serious note too. We'll dive into it when Aaron gets on in a couple minutes, but yeah, there's a lot of people suffering. That's for fucking sure, and it's sad, really, truly. you know, no matter how you feel politically about stuff, uh, no matter if Dems or Republicans or whatever they're in office, like I hate to say the whole like a lot of people say it like, oh, what you voted for. That's just like bullshit too, like on any side, because like a lot of people voted, for example, for like Joe Biden, but they didn't vote for him to take a fucking nap for 4 goddamn years. You know what I mean? I don't like when people say that, like on any side. Um, because not everybody's politically invested like that. People just try to fucking get through the day. And I guess me, I'm kind of tough on people in my circle because I'm just like, you guys should be hitting me up if you want to like know how to get residency abroad and stuff. Oh, the Pope. How did the Pope pass away? I don't know. How did the Pope pass away? Just some old age, right? Is there some sickness? I don't know. Uh, it's a good question. If you guys know the answer, let us know. Muhammad Mahmoud Nasser asks. Yeah. Yeah. When was that? Yesterday, right? The Pope passed away, and I know that our president here in Paraguay, he's going to the U.S. instead of going to the Vatican, uh, which I think most presidents would have gone to the Vatican to pay their respects, but Santiago Peña is going to the U.S. at the same time. But anyways, yeah, taking it back to the conversation, man, it's really too bad. Really, truly, like I was. I'll get more into this when Aaron hops on, but I had somebody hit me up today that was just telling me that her family's struggling like really like hard, right? And it kind of hit me, right? Because I don't know. I talked to a lot of guys who want to come here, who are really high rollers, who are or not. Well, yes, that too, but also just like a lot of guys who have it together. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And I gotta honestly remind myself that like there's some people who are you know they're really struggling, and like I've always tried to appeal to those people, which is exactly why I try to put like reasonable housing on the channel, try to explain in detail as best I can processes of how to get here, try to explain the realities of culture, even though maybe some people might get mad at me for keeping it real when it comes to dating and shit on all sides of the aisle, men and women. But it's still like because the thing is like if I get hit up by people who are struggling that bad now, like yeah, it absolutely hurts to hear it. And I just wonder, like, what in God's name are people are gonna do when they retire? I was watching Michael Bordenero. You're not watching, just listening in the background. You guys know who Michael Bordenero is? You probably do. Anyways, he was saying that Americans need anywhere from $4 to $5 million. Well, no, no, not four. Starting at $2 million to have a comfortable retirement, right? And only a very slim majority or minority. God, I can't even talk today. Only a slim minority of Americans uh, have that ability to save that much. Most people are sitting around a little bit over 100K, right? And we know that a little bit over 100K is not going to get you 20 years of retirement, maybe 25 if you hopefully live that long through your 80s, right? Yeah. And on sad thing is depending on the person, it's probably still better to stay in the USA and maybe come to Paraguay when you have a pension or retirement money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, especially if you got a family, like that's a huge jump, right? If you're like a single guy, you can live somewhere for a year or two. If you need to go back, that's one thing. But if you got like a family, that's like a whole other level of stuff you need to prepare for. Because I'm a little bit harsh when it comes to like, I guess like don't put your feelings into a decision. But the thing is, you kind of do. Well, you absolutely need to do that when you do have a family. Uh, because like for example, if you're bringing a 5-year-old here to the country, that could be an enormous culture shock, right? Um, and again, Paraguayans are nice, and then they'll get like acclimated eventually. But like that's a way bigger culture shock that you're putting on a child rather than like yourself who's making that conscious decision, right? Um, Now I still think people should consider it if you have some kind of income or online income or something like that. I absolutely think people should consider it. But it's different than a single guy. You know, moving around the world, or a single woman moving around the world. Um, yeah, but there are families who are extremely struggling, very bad. And yeah, so what you were saying when come later in life, yeah, yeah. If you don't, oh yeah, people counting on Paraguayan income. Yeah, yeah. Don't count on Paraguayan income. Well, there's two sides to that coin, right? If you find something really lucrative, like maybe you become a professor or something, or I don't know, you get in the game in some business sense, in some corporation in Asuncion, and that's one thing. But if you're gonna struggle like the rest of Paraguayans, it's a different thing, right? Um, but yeah, like you know, I kind of have to warn some guys who are in the trades, right? Like pretty much if you're in the trades, you need to start your own company here off the bat. You don't want to get into the trades down here; it pays almost nothing, right? But but yeah, the point is that like you should still what you're saying is set yourself up for retirement though. Whether that mean residency, look for houses down here, 40K or under, you know, attainable things, stuff that's not even an option in the states, you know. So, anyways, hopefully Aaron hops on here soon. But yeah, bringing teenage kids, yeah, I mean, unless your kid is like an incredibly free spirited in the good way, like able to adapt. Oh, here we go. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Ryan?
What you up to?
Just here. I found a coffee shop
You got to start it?
close by. No, actually, it's a local coffee shop. I was gonna go to Starbucks, but it was a bit too chaotic, too crazy. Like a lot of people and stuff. So I went to the local one instead.
Oh, okay. For sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, bro. Well, thanks for joining us. So everybody, you know who it is.
Mm. Yeah.
We got Aaron the expat or the Hispanic expat here. Go subscribe
Yes.
to the channel if you just in case you're not.
I got a video coming up pretty soon. I already have it done. Just
Oh
gotta
yeah.
release it pretty soon. Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah. Just been busy though. So
Yeah. I feel you, man. I
yeah.
feel you here.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
wanting to release more videos, bro, but it's just like when I'm on the computer 8 hours a day, and then the thing
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't want to do is go on the computer. I'll start doing it on the weekends. Like I might like start going to coffee shops and working, but I can't just do it in the house anymore. Like,
yeah. Well, it's like me myself right now. I have the week off, so I've been busy working um on my hiring process with the with the specific company. And so it's been pretty extensive since it's at like the federal level, federal government. So I've just been at it with just my background, my medical that I got coming up, and just a lot of things all at once.
yeah,
These last couple of days. So
man, I
yeah,
hear, I fucking hear you. uh, yeah, dude, it's hard, man. Change is hard.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but anyway, we were just getting into this topic, and I know we'll dive deep in this motherfucker.
yeah.
But
Oh, we will.
no, man, I was just telling that like sometimes I be forgetting right that people are really really going through it because like me and you we're a little bit harder on people who are our age or like yeah, I guess even in our circles the people who know what we're up to, right? But there's a lot
Yeah,
of people who don't give a fuck about YouTube, who don't give a fuck about even really travel channels to that extent, or they may have found me in another way off of more of a life thing or adoption or something like that for that matter. Anyways,
yeah,
I was talking to a young lady, right? Like right before this, who has a family, and man, they're just going through it, dude. Like fucking crazy, and
yeah,
it was hard to hear, like, or it was hard to read, like how much they're suffering. and people suffer in silence, man.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't mean to be hard on those people ever. When we kind of go off on our rants and stuff about like, God damn it, hurry up and get residency. We're not talking. Well, down the line, once you are able to, yes, you should. But like, we're mostly
Yeah.
talking to the people who are like our age, wasting their fucking time, going out, going to casinos, going to strip clubs, traveling to degenerate ass places. Like, we're hard on those guys.
Yeah.
And
I would say obviously men, but I mean men and women if we're including both for
yeah,
sure.
like those people, or some who even like might follow me or something, but they follow, I don't know, they whatever they they want to know weird information out of me or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who should still do what we're doing with residency and all that for retirement.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just going through it, man. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I be forgetting that, like on the American,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if I did send you, or I actually did send it to you, Ryan, but like, I mean, everywhere right now, there's a lot of layoffs going on, as
yeah,
you probably hear on the news and stuff. Um, Here locally, like in my hometown here in Imperial Valley, there's it's very well known, I guess, because it's founded in Texas, but it's called the Holly Sugar Factory, where they process like sugar beets and like actual sugar, and they just already announced that they're closing down after 100 years in operation. There's going to be close to, I think, 400 people losing their jobs here locally in our local town. So like where I'm from, obviously it's mostly agricultural and government jobs.
yeah,
And when those two sectors get hit the most, as you're seeing right now in many parts of the US, that's seriously bad. Like very bad.
yeah. No, absolutely, man. And there's entire dead cities in the Midwest, especially in Michigan, Upper Illinois, like Gary, Indiana, some places Illinois, shitty, not really Wisconsin, but like Detroit.
Yeah.
Like there's cities that go
Minnesota.
dead off of that shit.
Yeah.
Um, Minnesota and Wisconsin are a little bit better off historically. The more dead cities are around like the Cleveland to Detroit to Gary, Indiana to Upper Illinois. But yeah, man, I mean, when that stuff happens, jobs leave or people get laid off, it has insane consequences because that's 400 jobs, which let's say half of those people have a girlfriend or a wife. Okay, so there's
Or
600
a
people.
house. I mean, if they got a mortgage or they have somewhere that they're renting.
Yeah, so even if you said half of those people have some kind of partner, and then they probably half of those people probably have kids. So you're putting that number to 800 people it's affecting, maybe even more. Uh,
Easily 1,000, close to 1,000, I would even argue. Because
yeah,
even you'll have a lot of and that's not most cases, but sometimes you'll have cases where families they live in multi-generational homes now.
yeah,
That seems to be the more normal thing, where kids are living with their parents or couples are living with their in-laws and that kind of thing. So very common here where I'm from too.
yeah, yeah, man. So you know, yeah. I mean, we have to start with that because, like, yeah, we're really hard on the people who should be taking the steps that we are, who do have good jobs, but they just don't have the right mindset. But there's a lot of
Yeah,
people who are falling on hard times that has nothing to do with their own fault,
yeah,
right?
very
And
much.
no matter how you feel politically about anything, that's fucking irrelevant, man. Because the end of the day, your neighbors are your neighbors, your people are your people, your community is your community.
Yeah,
And so, like, I don't like it when people go down the well, that's what you voted for fucking route. Because, like, like I was saying before you hopped on, it's like I didn't fucking like, or like people didn't vote for fucking Joe Biden to take a nap for 4 goddamn years. And
yeah,
I know people will say like, oh, for example, there's a lot of truckers getting laid off, right? And a lot of
Yeah.
them Trump or whatever. Put it whatever government
Or
job.
yeah. Or blaming it on the tariffs too.
Yeah,
When yeah.
yeah, and it's just not. Americans are so quick to do that to each other, right? Because they just want to throw it in your fucking face when this administration's in or this one, and it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Do you lose any humanity, or did you lose all your humanity? Like, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
uh, it's one thing to, I don't know, joke about the purple hairs, but it's like another thing to like I don't know, fucking get on somebody because they just lost their job and be like, "That's what you voted for," type shit. It's just like it's some asinine ass shit, bro.
Yeah.
And, in contrast, nobody would do that shit here in Paraguay.
Yeah.
That's an exclusively American fucking thing to say. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
even I don't even know if Europeans do that shit. I don't think so.
No, I think here right now in the US though, what's happening what I'm noticing is that a lot of times people do come together, but they only come together when they agree on something instead of when there's a common issue that's affecting people on both sides of the parties. You'll see two groups, right? You'll see the left or the right or the conservative or the democratic or the liberal, but you don't see them like unite on one particular issue. That's what I. That's something that I'm. That's something that I'm noticing now that you put it that way, because you see in other countries, if we're gonna compare other countries or other continents, in Europe, I think for the most part, when there's an issue, I would assume if it's an issue that affects everybody, regardless of political stance, when it mostly ties to economics and stuff, people will gather and people will try to help each other out.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly like
um,
it is here. Um, yeah, yeah. We're so bogged down in our fucking two goddamn parties that have been around since fucking way before were born. Um, I think it's really stupid that we have two parties too. And then, if we
yeah,
want to get into that, they're both bought off by the same goddamn fucking corporate packs
by
and
the
all
same
that
people.
shit too. What up, Chestnutters?
Seriously,
How you doing, my friend?
chestnut is
You crazy Chestnutters for that goddamn name. Okay, anyways, Anamon says the US is probably 10 to 20 years behind.
behind what?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. Like
Yeah,
with like a healthy economy or well,
like
yeah,
behind, yeah, because that could be anything. That could
yeah,
be behind as far as um, economically or politically. So
yeah. And the thing is, like in the U.S., there's just no goddamn answers. That's the thing too. It's like, yeah, I know people are already talking about the midterms. I'm like, wow, you guys, what the fuck is that? Like a year and a half away? I'm like, you really put your timelines on these political fucking elections? I'm on the U.S. is probably 10 to 20 years behind Canada's collapse.
Canada's collapse.
I think you mean more kind of like economically with our dollar, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, because I think right now the dollar to the Canadian is like it's 70 or 75 cents, 77 cents
yeah,
to the dollar, something like that.
yeah. But then when you start converting it to guaraníes, it's even less because you have to convert it twice,
Yeah,
and all the fucking fees and all that shit
yeah,
go over. So the Canadian dollar ends up being like 5,000 here to 8,000.
8,000. Right now the dollar to Guarani is still at 7,800,
Yeah,
77.
no, it was at literally 8,000 yesterday, and then today it dipped to like 7,900 something.
Oh,
Um,
so it's hovering around there.
yeah, I don't know how it's gonna play out, man. Internationally, I'll tell you what I don't fucking like though is I don't like that the USA is losing trust around the world. That's something I do fucking despise Trump for. I don't like when we treat our allies like shit. I don't
Yeah.
like no matter yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a red or blue thing. I literally don't like when we shit on our allies. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
um, Europeans, the Japanese, the Koreans. Okay, if we want to have good faith arguments about economics and about trade, that's one thing. But it's another thing to play this little fucking stupid ass game that's going to affect us all, us who are overseas potentially if the dollar really dips down,
Yeah.
uh, or if you're stateside or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get fucked over. And the thing is,
Yeah.
it's like so the Japanese they just went to DC to meet Trump, and the thing is like they operate out of such a level of respect that us Westerners don't. That like for for the U.S. to be like we're gonna do this day and then this day and then this day like you're losing no matter how you feel about it you're losing trust just out of instability alone.
Yeah.
You know, fuck if somebody swears too much. Nobody cares about that. But like, eh, you know,
Yeah. No.
when you don't have consistent messaging, how the fuck is anybody supposed to trust you? It's kind of like the gurus, right? Who are in this fucking YouTube game. If you don't have the same message all the time,
That's true.
then how the fuck are people supposed to trust you? You
Yeah.
know, that's why my
Yeah.
message stays the same all the time. It doesn't change. You know, and it's the same like on a country to country level, right?
Yeah.
Uh, you know, so like, you know, we're just playing this stupid fucking game every 4 years. Just like, okay, the world has to deal with us this way and then this way, and then the U.S. has so much fucking influence, economically and politically, and so it's just, and then we're all over here on fucking edge, like, oh shit, what the fuck is about to happen?
Yeah.
So it's not good
Yeah.
for anybody, man. And yeah, dude, and you know, even conservatives are not happy with this shit. So
Yeah.
because nobody likes instability, nobody, not one person's gonna raise their hand and be like, "I like instability." Like, no, nobody does. You know.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. You know, man, don't sweat it too much yet. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't think it's not gonna like free fall. It's not gonna be like the Russian ruble or anything or whatever the fuck their currency is. Like, it's not gonna like equal to a penny tomorrow. But it's still not good though. I just, you know,
Yeah.
the mixed messaging, the instability. If you're gonna do something, do it in good faith. Don't do it because you want to. My button's bigger than your button, kind of fucking mentality.
Yeah.
Whatever shit, you know. Crazy investor says
Yeah.
dollar baby. Yeah, I mean, I wish the dollar was king. I mean, even fucking British pounds are more than that. So
Yeah.
chestnut are good. Gold futures are through the roof. Yes, I just saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
I
true.
I remember like a couple years back, like out of high school, I got into like or it was probably like 4 or 5 years back when I got into all of um like gold and silver. And I remember vividly, this was like right before 2020 or even around 2020, gold had hit a threshold of more than $2,000 per ounce. And now, literally within the last 3 4 years, especially in the last year, gold is already hitting over 3,000. It's
Yeah,
sitting at like 3,200. And
yeah.
the idea is that when gold keeps going up in value, the dollar loses its value in return. Or the reason why is because the dollar loses its value because of money printing, possibly because of the scarcity of gold, all
Also,
that stuff.
again, going back to trust in
Trust
institutions and the dollar
and
itself.
and other countries are getting a hold of their own gold.
Yeah.
China in particular, countries in Europe.
Well, you know what else is fucked too, just geopolitically, is the president of China went to fucking Vietnam and gave a speech. And Vietnam's supposed to be our fucking ally. They could be a major powerhouse. They're saying that Vietnam could be the next Japan if we allow it to be, if we help them. But instead,
Yeah,
we're doing this stupid fucking game, and like we said before, Asians don't fucking play around when it comes to respect and consistent messaging. They don't fuck
Yeah.
around with shit. Us in the West, we're goddamn clowns, and we can change our mind 10,000 times in one day. But they don't like that shit. And so, like,
Yeah.
for them to invite fucking Xi, who is like their enemy damn near historically, to fucking Vietnam to give speeches about American hegemony and fucking all that shit, that ain't good. And even Singapore, fucking good old Singapore, even they're leaning more to fucking China. You know,
Uh,
I mean, goddamn, we're gonna fuck up so bad. Even Taiwan's gonna be like, you know what, China, fuck it, just take us over, man. Nah, I'm just
yeah.
like, it ain't gonna go that far, but I'm just like,
I,
dude,
I, would- I would probably only I would probably say the only country though in Asia that really has strong ties with the U.S. and historically has is the Philippines, because the Philippines doesn't really, they don't mesh with China. In fact,
we're fucking over the
they
Philippines.
clash a lot with China because of the waters they have there, the South China Sea
Well,
and their
that's
imaginary borders as they call it.
this is the same with Vietnam too. It's the same with Japan. It's the whole island chain. Yeah. No, I know exactly. Yeah, man. And it's just like, dude, we need to be creating serious bonds with Japan, the Philippines, Taiwan,
Taiwan.
Vietnam, Singapore, all the way down to fucking Indonesia. We need to have good relations with these countries. You know, like they have that region of the world is the biggest population in the world. It's the world center. Europe is not. The U.S. is not. Latin
Yeah,
America is not. Africa is not. Southeast Asia is the epicenter of the population of Earth, and it has half of the global GDP swirling in just that one little area. And we want to fuck
yeah,
up with that. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
yeah,
come on, man, what are we doing here? We have to. I don't know, dude. But I don't know. We can bring it back down to earth, but like Jesus Christ, dude, it's just like the global shit does affect us on an individual level, though.
yeah,
Uh, But anyways, I was watching Michael Bordenero. I know you like him too. But
yeah.
he reaffirmed that you need $2 million to retire comfortably in the U.S. And
Two
I can
million.
see why too. So okay, say retirement's at 65. Say you want to make it, let's say till 90, right? Let's say till
That's it. That's if you make it to 90, if you're
well,
lucky.
exactly. But let's say that's what you want to like prepare for, right?
Yeah,
95. Fuck, you want to prepare to 100, right? But that's, I mean, from 65, that's 35 years. You know,
yeah,
so that 2 million dividing it by 35, or fuck it, even okay, just put it at 85. Just put it at 20 years. You know, it's I can see where it's starting to make sense, and that's exactly why people are not prepared for retirement.
no,
You know,
no,
but people who move abroad will be. People who have residency in other countries will be.
yeah,
Again, this is not trying to shame. It's just like to try to like get people fucking going.
yeah. It's to get people to snap out of their feelings or
Yeah,
their opinions and all that. But you know what's funny though, and I don't even think I told you this before, like before the live stream or um, you know, uh, through text or anything. But I've been noticing though that a lot of them, literally, I'm not kidding. Like the last 2 weeks, for some reason, the last 2 weeks, even like major news media outlets like see it, or like MSNBC, CBS, like all these major news outlets, they've been talking about a lot of Americans looking to move abroad.
I've seen that too.
Obviously, though, the mainstream they like to kind of make it seem like they only limit it to like Canada, where Americans
That's
should move to
divided
Canada,
fucking much,
or
dude.
they should make Canada the 51st state,
They
some
already
BS or something like that. And I'm
get
like,
the
no, like,
get the fuck over. Like, yeah, they need to. I know exactly what you're talking about. They need to stop
yeah,
that stupid messaging. They've done that shit for 20 years straight since
yeah,
Bush. Like,
Yeah, I'm like
yeah,
Canada's just as they got as many problems as we do.
yeah, they're just as fuck, dude. So what? You can, yeah, I mean, yeah, you okay to make what Canadian dollars? Why?
But yeah,
Like,
and then those specific like news outlets, like when they talk about like Americans that want to move abroad and this and that, they'll talk about how Canada has like ease of immigration, work visas, job opportunities, which
yeah,
I won't say there isn't, but from what I'm pretty sure myself and Ryan, we know of a few Canadians that they have it worse off. They do have it worse off, just
yeah,
like the Americans do.
yeah. Just like Inaman just said, yeah, yeah. Canada's fucking worse, dude. Like, why would you go? Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, for what, dude? It's the same shit, if not worse. Yeah,
Yeah, there isn't any jobs.
there's no
Yeah,
fucking jobs in America or Canada, dude. Like, yeah, I mean, God, dude. Yeah, the mainstream media really bothers me with that shit. Like,
it does to me also.
they act like the rest
Um,
of the world doesn't exist. Like,
yeah,
hey,
they there was even one in particular about dual citizenship, which I found really surprising. I was like, that's the first time I hear that, and they were saying about like, you know, it was a little bit more unbiased, the short video or the short news report. But even then, they even try to challenge like, oh, it used to be seen as like the rich would have dual passports, like the rich would have it, or it would be an act of treason against one's home country, that sort of thing. Um, and obviously, the expert that was talking about it was like, no, that's not the case. People have multiple reasons. It could be for, obviously, they threw in like, freedom of religion, of gender, sexual gender, freedom of speech, but then they threw in the cost of living. Then they threw in the societal pressures and the economical benefits of it. And obviously, for me personally, that's why I have that, the dual citizenship and residency.
yeah,
So
yeah. No, exactly, man. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Naman says it's all cooked, man. Yeah, fucking North America. It's like Mexico's the only one that's like hanging
yeah,
in there. But even
hanging by a
Mexico
thread.
really fucked when because of the whole all of NAFTA. They get pretty kind of fucked when things go wrong in the U.S. and Canada as well. So,
Yeah,
but they have the strongest middle class, arguably,
yeah.
for sure. Chestnut, are you guys sipping on that day today? I was sipping on that today, but not anymore.
I
uh,
got some coffee here.
changed. I was sipping on this, but it's out now. So
Yeah,
yeah, does today have caffeine in it? They'll tell you yes and no. I think it does a little bit. Yeah. Here. Let me look at the box. Well, no, actually I know it does. I think it does a little bit.
a little bit.
Okay, okay, fuck it. Here, let me grab this right here.
I think last time that I drank some,
Okay,
it
we're
uh it got my stomach moving, my bowel moving for sure.
oh yep,
I felt a little bit wired too after drinking it.
it'll
I was
always do
like,
that.
oh damn.
Okay. No, it does not. At least this does not.
La menta with limon.
It has well, it has energetic valor energético. I don't know what the fuck that means. It has carbohydrates, proteins, grasas, fibra, and sodium. So it does not technically have caffeine, but it has the same effect. But it's not as strong as coffee. Then it's definitely
Yeah.
not. But cocido, cocido is another herb that we drink. We almost drink it like it's coffee. Now
Mm.
that
Oh,
flavor,
cocido.
yeah, that'll wake you up more. It's
I missed that when we had the cocido and we had it in the Chiperia San Lorenzo.
yeah,
That was like the best one. Cocido con leche. That was
Yeah,
so good.
I actually make cocido now at home because I have a coffee machine now.
Nice.
So yeah, I make 1.5 cups of coffee and then I'll go to cocido because it
Mm.
coffee coffee is very highly caffeinated.
Yeah,
So you can't drink that much, otherwise you'll get a headache. But like cocido, you won't get that headache that you will with coffee, which is really nice.
yeah.
uh, and it's herbs too. So, oh, you're drinking cocido, nice, dude. Cocido's the shit, bro. Like honestly, I fucked up in not drinking it. A lot of people, and when it gets cold, they go straight to mate, which mate is good too. But cocido is great because you can like consistently drink it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
like coffee, especially when you put some leche in there. For yerba mate. When I Google yerba mate, it has caffeine. Okay. Yeah. See, this literally says valor energético. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, does that mean caffeine?
you're gonna have to ask your sister or
See, this
somebody.
is this is exact. I swear to God, there's like a debate that goes on for like, does it have caffeine or does it not? I don't know, but it wakes you up a little bit. So it's like, even if it doesn't technically have caffeine, it'll wake you up a little bit. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you drink that a day to stay hydrated. That's the biggest reason.
Yeah.
You don't normally drink it to wake up. It will wake you up a little bit, but nothing as strong as coffee.
Yeah.
Um, See, Inaman, some local says it does, others say it don't. It doesn't. That's
So
exactly that's exactly what I'm talking about.
it
uh,
sounds like debatable, I guess.
yeah. Can you chew personal size medicinal coca leaf in Paraguay? I don't know. I've never seen people do that. That's a Bolivian thing. Uh, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I've never seen it, but
Well, I mean, I assume you probably don't really need to because that's more for like when you're in high altitude or like high elevation. Because Paraguay is not that high in elevation. There's no mountains. There's like lomas. There's hills, but
well, the thing
not
is
like
like it's interesting, right? Because like Colombia's are all about coffee, then Bolivia is all about the cocoa leaf, then we're all about mate. Just like because historically we're native, so like these are the things that our people have produced for like thousands of fucking years. So like that's why we all stick on our own shit, you know?
like Mexicans. We're all about tequila.
Yeah, because the agave. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No,
The,
that's
the
true.
agave. That's well agave, and then also which I've tried before in central Mexico is like atole, which
Hmm.
is like it's a corn drink, maize, and some well obviously it's like fermented corn with water, but sometimes they'll mix it like with they sometimes mix it with like dairy or with sugar or just all natural atole, and it's good. It reminds me of like cocido, it's just a different taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Huh. Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been enjoying cocido more, especially now that I have an easy way to make it. Um, yeah, for sure. It's really cheap too. It's cheaper than coffee. It's like coffee's pretty expensive here. Like decent coffee. You can
yeah.
get cheap garbage shit, but no, you don't want to drink cheap garbage shit.
Well, I think I remember at the chiperia we went to, which it was very like very affordable. I think the cocido, I remember seeing it on the menu. It was like 3,000, 4,000 guarani, which is like 50 cents.
Yeah,
So I
all
was
all
like,
cocidos they'll be way cheaper than coffee in the stores too. Because again, that's a Paraguayan product. Coffees, the real coffees, are not made here in Paraguay. So
it's
they're
out in Brazil, Brazil or
Brazil
Colombia.
or Colombia. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, they're the real coffee growers. We don't do that here. At least I don't think so.
yeah,
uh, yeah, but yeah, man, I don't know. Getting back in the conversation, let's take it away from comics though. Let's take it away from that shit. Because
yeah.
I was seeing a guy who, yeah, if you keep up with Bo's Legion of Men videos, there
I
was this
watch them.
dude. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the one where like he's 40 now, but he was talking about his divorce when he was 35. Um, and
No, that one I haven't seen.
Okay, it was like a today or yesterday or something like that. I don't know, but the thing is like when we go up with like a big breakup or divorce, we get really into numbers to analyze like the market and shit, or like we fall like I don't know why, or like YouTube literally like brings us to some of this shit sometimes. And he was analyzing the numbers, so he was breaking it down like divorce rate is 56%. He found himself to being in that. And even after that, a lot of divorced people, because they're so used to having somebody,
Yeah,
uh, that they end up getting married again within 5 years. And then statistically, that's even more likely to fail their second marriage. But then even he was breaking down the first statistic that like 56% of people get divorced, but then the rest of those people, okay, what would that be? 45, whatever. Uh, 44% of people left. Only half of those people are even decently happy. So
yeah,
if you really break it down, 2 out of 10 people are in decent relationships when it comes to marriage. So that means like, are you arguing on a daily basis? Are you on the same page economically? Do you have decent respect for one another? And this stuff goes right into economics as well, right?
yeah,
Like a lot of this shit, a lot of arguments derive from economics. even if it does, even if it doesn't directly, a lot of times it does indirectly. You know what I mean? Like you're like maybe a woman won't say it, but she'll start losing respect if she doesn't think you're bringing in enough money. Now maybe she doesn't say it out loud, but maybe she just starts treating you different, or whatever, something like that. Or the good old American effect of keeping up with the Joneses. Oh well, I mean, we reached 40, but why don't we have the same house that fucking Becky and her goddamn husband has? It's like, bitch, because I don't have the same job that he has. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah,
do you want me around with our kid or not at all? You know what I mean? Because he's not around with his fucking kid at all. Not, those are the things that you have to work out as a couple. So like I don't know, man. It was just so interesting. Like the U.S. is like so fucking degenerate when it comes to cost of living. Staying with a partner who like loves you, and you're in the minority of the minority, dude. 1 out of 5. That's not a good stat for healthy
no,
relations. Uh,
no,
beyond divorce, because we all know that people who are together, they ain't always the fucking best together.
yeah,
um, so god damn, it's like it's sad that it breaks down to that point of like. Are you in a healthy relationship? Can you afford to survive? Can you afford to retire? Um, how much, if you get laid off, are you going to be able to weather this storm? Um, or are you planning for retirement at all? um, what if we take another round of hit with inflation? And I was just seeing some guy in the fucking, I don't even know where the fuck he was at. Said eggs are $7 fucking. I'm like, what, dude? Eggs are like fucking, I don't know. Another guy, they're not that cheap, but I'm talking about like 30 fucking eggs you can get for like $4 here.
four
So,
dollars. Yeah,
but that's
I,
30
I,
eggs. That's 30. That's not 12.
yeah,
So like you can get them, yeah, whatever 30,000 would be, like a little bit over $4. So a dozen would be like around $2 or so here in
more
Paraguay,
or less $2.
and it used to be even cheaper. So that's just an example, man. But yeah, Americans are paying fucking $8 for fucking 12 eggs, or I know that you brought up in like Manhattan, like $13 for 12 eggs, a
Yeah,
dollar. I'm like,
and
God.
that's like the highest. That's the highest amount I've heard myself.
And that
Um,
might as well just go out to eat. Like, bro, if I want an omelet with fucking 3 or 4 eggs in it, oh damn, bro, that shit's adding up.
yeah. Well, if you guys are listening, I was telling Ryan like on the last live, and I'm sure you guys have seen it on social media, but like Coachella, people were spending $100 on food for like two people. I swear, like only two people, like $25 for a chicken sandwich, $6 for uh, and not even alcohol, $6 for like pineapple juice. Um, You
Yeah,
know,
like
like literally $30 for like a poke bowl, like just ridiculous prices that you're paying.
yeah.
And the truth, another thing too that I thought of uh, sometime this week was like how bad the food is. You know, I will disclose here on the live. I actually did a 3 day fast. Um, I did a 3 day fast which I don't recommend it. I mean, seek medical professional help, or if you have a doctor, depending on what your current health and age is. But I've been doing like intermediate fasting and stuff like that, and I had already fasted before for 2 days. I went ahead and did 3 days where I cut sugar out. Um, it was just water, electrolytes, maybe some coffee. Um, but I started to notice like I dropped weight, but I noticed how my body was feeling. And as soon as I kind of like had a little bit of salt and sodium or like a little bit of sugar just to kind of get me back into the groove, I realized how bad the food is in the US.
yeah,
Um, it's almost you almost have to like avoid like 90% of the food you eat in
yeah.
order to stay really healthy. Because a lot of food that you have out, it's processed. Um, it's got certain chemicals or hormones in it. It may have additives depending on what kind of certain foods you eat. If it's like chips, cereal, which shouldn't be eating that stuff to begin with. Compare that to like in Paraguay, we were having red meat, we were having bread, vegetables, um, all that stuff.
Yeah. Crazy investor. Did you give Aaron a Fernet shot when you was in Ascension? You take shots at this?
No, no, we gave it to my dad though. Remember?
He.
Remember my dad?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Fernet, but a lot of people do like it here. Argentinians fucking love that shit, but I personally don't really care
yeah.
too much for it.
It's all
Uh,
right. It's
it's
cool.
okay. Yeah, I won't bad talk it that much, but
Yeah,
uh, but yeah, I think you at least tried it though, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had it like twice. I had it twice. The Fernet, Fernet with Coke.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking dude, that's even another thing. You can still get the old school Cokes here, like the glass ones. Like they're not everywhere, but you
Yeah,
can still find them. Like in
yeah,
America and in Mexico too. I know that for a matter of fact too.
mhm.
And then if you want a Mexican Coke in the States, you're paying like 5.50.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're paying like more than double for the Mexican Coke.
for the yeah,
Which the only difference really is that they use pure sugar, which is just as bad. But still, but
yeah,
like bad and bad. I mean, health wise, but as far
yeah,
as like the taste of it, yeah, like
yeah,
that's why a lot of Mexicans drink Coca Cola.
yeah, yeah. A lot of Paraguayans do too. Yeah, a lot of Latin America does, just in general.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, but I don't know, dude. The U.S. is going fucking through it, man, and especially families too. Because the thing is, like, you as adults, you can make a lot of sacrifices for yourself, and like, okay, well, we can just cut this shit out, or cut this out, or cut this out. But when you have kids, a lot of that shit is like fixed costs, and it's getting more expensive, right? Like at
yeah,
the end of the year, your kids still, or the next year or two, your kid still needs a new fucking backpack or fucking shoes or some shit, and that shit don't get cheaper. um,
the childcare doesn't get cheaper.
yeah,
Food, and then if your kids, and this is just aside from the basics, right? I
mhm,
guarantee you, like I'm just guesstimating, but like easily, like 8 out of 10 families will usually give in when the kids want to do stuff. It's like go to the movies, go to a theme park, go to buy this toy and buy this certain game on their tablet. Like that's just that's just the extra stuff on top of the basic necessities for a child.
yeah, no, exactly, and yeah, I don't know. if you take even one hit as a parent, that can really fuck it up for your kids. Uh,
Yeah.
because yeah, you can't like I don't know, man. You can't ease off when like you can ease off and like okay maybe you stop buying bags of chips for yourself, but like your kids still needs to eat what the fuck they need to eat. Even like babies need their fucking baby formula and that kind of shit. So it's like
Yeah.
you a lot of those costs are like say like your kids like in I don't know recreational soccer. Are you just gonna break the kid's heart because you just can't afford it anymore?
Yeah.
I know that there, at least where I'm from, there's like some programs that'll like step in if you're struggling economically, but that don't exist everywhere. I don't think So,
Yeah.
and then plus that comes into like the embarrassment factor too, as a parent.
Yeah.
Like, damn, if I lost my job or I'm getting my hours cut or got laid off, like, fuck, now I have to start letting people know and the fucking programs. And it's like an extra level of stress beyond just like the immediate economic hit. And
Yeah.
it's like, or like, it's like, okay, I can afford my kid's soccer this year, but I can't next year. Or my girl wants to do gymnastics or some shit. And it's like, that shit's heartbreaking as fuck. And I
Yeah.
know people, it's just like the Great Depression, people suffer in silence, right? Because it's not sexy, it's not advisable to talk about your bullshit, to talk
No.
about your
And,
struggle.
and it's not like it's not really looked. It's not really what's the word? Yeah, like it's not sexy to talk about your struggles in America.
Yeah,
To be honest, it really isn't. Big people want to show the best, the best things that you have on social media. We're all guilty of it at some point, I myself included. Um,
yeah, no,
but
me too.
yeah, but I think being real is it's just not accepted yet. Or as far as saying, hey, like I live with my parents, or hey, my net worth is only 10 grand, or um, I'm struggling right now, right? Like job wise, um, like those things aren't sexy to say. They're not flattering to say to anybody, let alone in the states. But
Well, here, so I can
people
get
won't
that.
say otherwise.
Well, exactly. But even on top of that, there's even levels to that shit. So, like, I always come back to Chris Rock, what he says, right, about men and like our place in society, right? It's like who gets unconditional love? Women, children, and dogs. Women, children, and dogs, right? So like us men, like when I remember what the fuck was it? 5, 10 years ago, they're like, mental health is absolutely everything. Talk about it openly. I was like, I don't know, man. I think like ladies can talk about it more openly, but the thing is like, and
Yeah,
I actually do talk about it openly, but it's not always the best idea. Uh,
yeah,
I'm not saying like keep your shit buried down and like don't seek help or like don't talk to your friends and family. You absolutely should. But
yeah,
I'm sure like there's a time and a place, and it's more acceptable for like women to have more times and more places, and children and that kind of shit,
yeah,
right? So they get more of a pass of society of like letting down their guard because they're you know. But us men, like we got to stay so stoic, and I know for a fucking fact I made people uncomfortable when I did a video on it, and even when I've talked about my own mental health struggles. I
yeah,
know I make people uncomfortable, but I don't care. uh, my honesty policy, my openness policy has benefited me.
yeah,
I create more trust doing that. Um, I know people look down on me. I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
uh,
People are gonna they're always gonna give their opinions.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, and so like it was just you know I think guys should, but they should limit it to who they open up to, and like I said, we have less times and places that we're allowed to.
Yeah,
It's just how it is, right? Because especially because I worked for like a more like liberal organizations, like when they said like, oh, be open and open and open, I'm like, yeah, for who? you
yeah,
know, It's like you know what I mean. So even if you're talking historically, like stuff that's happened to you in the past. Um,
Yeah.
well, which is exactly why too. I mean, we'll go to the fucking extreme of this example, but that's exactly why too that men almost never open up if like something bad happened as a kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or it like takes fucking years and years and years for them to like even admit it or something like that.
Or
Uh,
even acknowledge it themselves.
yeah, or even acknowledge it to yourself,
Yeah.
let alone share it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we keep stuff deep inside. So like when people say that like there's no differences between men and women. I'm like, yeah, there are. Are you fucking kidding me? Like the way that we move, the way that we're accepted and not accepted when certain things happen to us. Um, I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, that's why a lot of the woke shit really turned me the fuck off because it was just ignoring so many realities of like how the world works. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's, so I don't know, man. But at the same time, you shouldn't be this like dude who is just so bottled up and just like fucking hates everything. Like those are the worst kinds of dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the fucking incels and shit.
Yeah.
Um, but then they also are like serious ass crybabies too. Like
Yeah.
it's one thing to explain, it's one thing to give testimony, it's one thing to like share a story and like some people will relate and help and you'll help others. But it's another thing to like year after year after year sit in your fucking parents' basement and just like hate the world, hate on women, um start what doing God knows what and planning some fucking crazy shit to go down. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like and those guys, I mean, other guys don't even want to be around them. Yeah, man. I don't know. I swear to God, dude, the U.S. is the epicenter of all these different fucking ideologies and groups and people, and it was like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, man.
It, yeah. It's almost hard to relate to every single person because they all think like a very. They all sometimes have extreme ideas or extreme points of view, and a lot of times they're on the opposite end of what one believes in.
Yeah,
So, but that's true though. The U.S. tends to have like it tends to be the epicenter of that
yeah,
subcultures, all those kind of cult-like ideologies, all that stuff.
yeah, man. We're the birthplace for a lot of that crazy shit, for real. Um, I was just even thinking about like even Wisconsin, like we're like fucking known for our mass murderers, like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, fucking. I'm like, God damn, bro, like Wisconsin makes you go crazy, bro.
I thought they were known for their cheese curds. Shit,
That's the good stuff.
that's the good stuff.
You freeze half the fucking year to enjoy cheese. So yeah, I'm on. Yeah, you have to accept every reality. The truth will set you free.
Very much so.
Now the truth will set you free, man. There's just a time and place for the truth, And
Yeah.
like even me, right? Even when I did like share about like my mental health struggles too, even that I even said in the video I wasn't gonna do this until I hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Because I was like, nah, let's not shoot myself in the foot before I at least get monetized here, just in case. Because you never know, man. You never know. Like other guys can look at you as weak if you like went through certain shit or whatever the fuck, And I have
Yeah.
most of the guys who follow me, not exclusively, but mostly.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. This crazy shit, man. But that kind of goes back to like uh I don't know, man. Like people just having a little bit of fucking understanding for one another because we're so individualistic. We're so tribal, individualistic in the states that like you were saying, if you don't agree, you don't even want to hear people out half the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I guess to bring all this together, well, what's the point of this? Is there any American dream left in America? I don't think so. Not at least for not for the average person. No, I think the average person is suffering, and this is what we always talk about. I think it is for the rich. Um, I think it is for people older generations who have a lot of money saved up and they're able to enjoy their time, and people who have houses paid off. But for younger folks, for the majority, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. I would even go as far as saying even I mean the only thing that I could think of logically and for now, like for the time being, of what's left is maybe like the dollar,
Yeah.
the US dollar, um, debatable what I will say, but maybe like education, um, having access to education, right? Although that, from my point of view, because I've gone through college myself, and I know Ryan has as well. Is it's a bit of a double edged sword considering the cost of college and sort of the supply of degrees and the job market and colleges guaranteeing you that you're going to have a job right off the bat, which I learned the hard way, that that's not always the case. um you know like me myself, like I have a bachelor's degree, right, in criminal justice. um and I try to get into federal government, like try to get into law enforcement, that sort of thing. I realized I went through that process. I didn't do so well, or I did not complete it, um, as the process was just really long for a position like that. Um, but even just like trying to get into government jobs or even private sector, that kind of stuff, like it literally is like you pretty much have to have already experience and know somebody or have that timing and opportunity, because a college degree is not going to guarantee you a job right off the bat. So now, in my case, in my current scenario, I have a college degree. I've had 4 almost 5 years of work experience, but I'm changing careers. Um, I'm going to be working as a merchant mariner, and all I did was I invested some money into myself with credentials, with um, what's called the TWIC card, a medical certificate. I did some training, and I'm already in the hiring process.
Hmm.
You know, so like I think the opportunities right now, like as far as when we're talking like white collar jobs in the U.S., it's pretty much like they're trimming the fat. They're lessening the workforce in that sense. Maybe blue collar jobs may be the way to go, but then again, the cost of labor, cost of materials, and the cost of those kinds of services are going up. And who's gonna have that money to spend for those kinds of services? More than likely, you know um, it's gonna be boomers, right, that already have money to spend. When their toilet gets clogged, or when they need to get a new roof, or they need to paint their house, right? But like as far as the younger generation, I mean, eh, the younger generation being 35 and under, um, it's really hard right now. It's hard for housing and job opportunities. And even with the high salary, you're depending on where you live right now. If you guys are watching, you know, you're still gonna struggle. You're still gonna go against high inflation, taxes, higher property taxes. Um, if you own a home or a specific townhome, HOA fees. Um, emergencies come up here and then. Medical emergencies, which people don't want to really talk about. You could easily get into debt if you have to go to the emergency room.
I'd rather get in a medical emergency here in Paraguay, straight up.
Yeah. I assume it's probably like a fraction compared to here, because I know here the the ambulance trip will cost you, like, let alone 3 grand minimum, if not more.
Yeah, the only caveat is you want to be in a private hospital here, not in a public one.
Yeah,
Um, but going back to what you're saying about white collar and blue collar, so in the pandemic, right, a lot of white collar people got to stay home. Like I was one of them. I was lucky. It
yeah.
didn't affect me
I
beyond like,
myself too at one point as well.
yeah, at least, I mean, yeah, like mentally it did, but like not like economically the pandemic didn't. But a lot of
Yeah,
people off who were service workers, this and that. And then now, 5 years later, it's the white collars getting laid off due to automation, AI, just downscaling in general. Like
yeah,
sometimes it's literally old school problems with companies. They're just literally not making enough money. Again, why? Because at least if you're selling your product in the US and you're not multinational, people have less money to spend. So you pretty much
yeah,
have to appeal to the rich, which that was the other thing that you said is that, like, if you get into the trades, like the union jobs, my friend was a welder and he got laid off from a union job. Right. But so even if you end up in like, I don't know, Joe's Plumbing, and Joe is an amazing boss, and he actually pays you really well. Uh, in the past, there was a healthy middle class that would have paid for your services all around suburbia America.
yeah,
But like Bo talks about, like even when he had his business, even before the pandemic, you were already seeing the shift that less and less middle class people had money to
yeah.
get repairs, even HVAC fixes. So it started being the rich only was able to
Hmm.
pay for these services. So
Hmm.
yeah, the rich can afford whatever the fucking rich can afford, but it's still not a good sign that you're still missing out on this more gigantic market.
Yeah,
That yeah, maybe you charge a little bit less, but there's still more work, which is more stability. Because once you're
yeah,
done with the rich neighborhoods, then you're just done with the rich neighborhoods.
yeah,
I would rather, instead of selling my service for 10,000, I would rather sell it for 8,000, but have more clientele. Uh, you know,
yeah,
and so I don't know, man. It's not looking good on anybody's end. And then like literally, this could like shift again another 5 years and another 5 years, and like there could be more automation done on the blue collar side, right? So maybe like maybe
that's another fear too
yeah,
that's happening in the trades. Right.
exactly.
I don't know in my case with the whole with the shipping industry or like merchant marine since I haven't even been on a vessel yet, but I'm in the process, right? But even then there's a lot of challenges coming the way because when the when the pandemic hit, according to a community, an actual community that I'm in, it's actually called Sailors Connect. Um, they were saying that a lot of mariners, I think they said something like 60 or 70% of mariners, those that work on vessels, that during the pandemic, when they were overdue during their underway out in sea, a lot of them didn't come back because of COVID, because
Uh-huh.
of the fear that they didn't want to stay in the industry. They, you know, obviously because of the pandemic, they wanted to be home. They may have changed careers. Maybe it wasn't for them. Now now at the time now I already have my documentation, but now there's a surge of people wanting to come back. Although it's not at a huge rate. It's increasing a lot more. So I mean, blue collar is still there. It's just I think the window might close in a couple of years. Like for me, or for the field that I'm choosing
Hmm.
for the merchant marine. But AI, I mean, I'm not sure if it'll affect it too much. I mean, as long as I'm here in the next 10, 20 years. Um, I know with ports though, like the guys that have to get cargoes and stuff, you know, they say that can be done by automated machines, by robots, you know. Um, I don't know. It's it's a little dicey. It's a little
Yeah,
dicey with where it stands.
yeah, yeah. So no, exactly, man. And it's sad that there's so much instability on every fucking way you look at it. From the
Yeah.
time that you hit 18 as a young adult, go to college or not, go white collar or blue collar,
Yeah.
go this or that, this city, that city, this town, this town. Um, then you put relationships somewhere in between all that shit. It's like a total goddamn mess
Social life.
for young people. It's a total fucking mess. People can't even afford to socialize. I mean, even a goddamn ice cream cone is just like fucking much money for people, or
Yeah.
or like So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do, man. Like if I was 18 right now, I would have a lot of questions
Yeah.
for society. Um, you know, and so like if I was a parent right now and I had young kids, I would be really questioning everything. Well, number one, I would come to Paraguay, but like, say I didn't
The
have that
number one.
quite yet. If I didn't have that mindset quite yet, I don't know what direction I would put them in. I mean, the thing is, like, I'd say, I don't say it jokingly, but I do say, like, if my kids have the personality and if they want to like do content creation, like if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I'd be like, hell no, fuck that. I don't want them on TikTok doing all kinds of stupid shit. But it's
Yeah.
like if they could do something more wholesome, even if it's something like not that interesting to the world, but if they can do something more wholesome, even if it's like I don't know, cooking or something like that, I say
Yeah.
go for it as young as you possibly can so you can get monetized as early as you can so then you can hopefully make that your thing later on.
Yeah.
Now not everything is you know picture perfect in this whole fucking game. You have to put a lot of hours in and all that, but I think the overall payoff is going to be good. Because just getting into the hierarchy, you, YouTube is under Google, and Google is fucking essentially synonymous with the internet itself. So like, if the internet goes, Google goes. If Google goes, like the internet like kind of fucking goes. YouTube fucking goes. Like
Yeah.
if imagine the internet without Google and YouTube. Like
It would be nothing.
yeah,
It would just be
it'd be,
a. It would
it'd be like
almost
a
just be a
wild
big.
fucking west.
It'd just be a big boring library.
Yeah, there would be no structure to the internet. People would say, "Oh, we'll just all go to Bing." Like, no, you won't. Or we'll all just go to I don't know,
Safari.
QuickTime videos or whatever the fuck, or I don't know, some shit like that. Like, no, you won't, because there's not because these platforms are they're there with the birth of the internet, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like that's why I always knew that TikTok was incredibly unstable, and I was right.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
right from the get go. I was right fucking years ago. I was like, look, man, I understand, and a lot of people want to point me at TikTok. Oh, but you're going to be traveling now. I mean, you might as well just do TikTok and like focus all your fucking time on TikTok. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not much of a TikToker, anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and plus, like a lot of that stuff is like not all of it, but a lot of it's just really fucking fake on TikTok. Hey, look at me. This is my 2 minutes, and I'm over here. I'm like, bruh.
It's all and in some way or shape or form, although it's controversial what I'm going to say, but I think it's a lot of it. There's a lot of indoctrination in TikTok.
I think so too.
Yeah, YouTube feels more from my experience myself, and I know especially with you, Ryan. It feels more like cable. Like if there's something that you want to see, or in like people, places, certain topics, YouTube is for that.
Hmm.
Whereas TikTok is just more of like it's just feeding you. I don't want to say feeding you crap, but like it just feeds you stuff that you're just kind of like it's just thrown at you. Whereas in YouTube, you have to search it. You gotta find what you like, what interests you.
Yeah, you got to be somebody really, really like even myself. I don't consider myself even that good when it comes to messaging all the time. I'm sometimes I can be kind of all over the place. Not what my core messages. I mean like the way that I speak. But
Yeah,
me and Aaron met somebody like fantastic down here, Eddie El Arte del Nomada, who he's a great communicator, right? Like a
great,
fuck
great storyteller.
yes, A plus. Like he can hit amazing stories within 2 to 3 minutes. Now I struggle with that. So like,
He did the exercise on us. If you remember,
yeah,
Ryan, it was a minute. It
he
was like
did.
six. He's like, tell me what your tell me how your day went. Give me a story in 60 seconds. And it was harder. It was easier said than done for sure.
It's tough for most people. I've gotten a little bit better at it, but even I struggle with it. But he's the exception. Most people do struggle with it, even when they get into any kind of content creation.
Yeah,
Um, I'm on YouTube is censored, TikTok is less censored. That actually is true. That's one thing that's to TikTok's favor. It doesn't fuck around too much with the algorithm. Whatever pops up with
yeah,
hashtags and stuff. So that is to TikTok's favor. But I'm just saying, like in general, like and like I've had people tell me, like I feel like I know you, or I listen to you when I go to bed, or I put you on in my hour car ride when I commute to work.
mhm,
I've et cetera, et cetera, right? So like
yeah,
some people know me on a really, really deep level that you won't know a lot most people on TikTok, right?
yeah. Because TikTok is it's a quick dopamine rush, and it's a just a bunch of euphoria. Just like, so this is what happened today, and this is the product, and this and that. From
Yep.
what I see, because I don't have TikTok, but when I see people, when I've seen people, they look into it. It's just very fast, very fast. Like whereas YouTube, I mean, yeah, you can have
Well,
longer, more deeper content.
yeah, and the thing is, like, people tell me that people don't go back in time on TikTok. Even TikTokers themselves have told me, like, pretty much what you put out in the moment, that's it. Like, but on YouTube, that is the good thing about YouTube. Like, I have videos from over a year ago now that people are still watching, but people will
Yeah,
not go back into your archives on TikTok. Literally, TikTokers who have 100,000, 200, 300,000 subscribers have told me this. So so it's you have to like really be on it and really be on it, and I don't know, man. It's and that's another thing actually on the content creator side of it. I think it's great for marketing and promotion. I think it certainly has it at its place. And if you're
yeah,
an A+ storyteller like Eddie is, you can pull it off too. But most people are not that kind of person.
yeah,
Um, or you edit amazing little Instagram documentaries that are literally 90 seconds to 3 minutes long.
yeah,
Uh, then okay, that's one thing, right?
yeah.
But
What I was gonna say, Ryan, was that like another point that I just thought of is I like how you said with Eddie how he's a great storyteller. I sincerely really believe that AI cannot recreate that as much as it wants to, as much as it wants to itself, or those that develop AI and stuff. It's not. It may be as close as to the human element, but I don't think it will because I mean everybody's unique as far as how they share themselves or how they share their content. So
yeah, yeah. What's up? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Ryan's got the Paraguayan goods from an actual Paraguayan's perspective. Don't care to hear an Aussie's perspective who's been here 6 months. I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to think where
I
that
don't know
is.
exactly who you're talking about, but I understand in general. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. And like, yeah, I mean, I've only lived here for only 10 months,
Um,
almost 11, I think.
almost a year, man.
Almost a year. Yeah, I'm gonna hit a year and when July and no. Wait, when I come here? Yeah, July 1st. Damn, that's fucking really soon. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know. The thing is, like, I get to talk to like family constantly, and all that. So I don't know, man. Sometimes I get to hear what's really going on in the country, like on a authentic Paraguayan level, and then like I'll share that stuff with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, your family fills you in with what's real. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, they do,
yeah.
and they'll keep it 100 with me.
Friends too. Like
Yeah,
I'm always letting Ryan know what's going on in my
that,
bubble.
that's true. And like, and the bartenders too that I befriended at Park Pinedo.
Yeah,
literally, he hit me up right now, and he said, "Hey, just in case you want to come out, like, not to there. He it's his day off. Farid, the redhead dude.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but so like, I do what is called I do this all the time, and I don't do it on camera for a reason, but I call him what name did I give
You
him?
call them off-camera interviews. I
Off
remember.
camera interviews. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, and so like I'll because the thing is that if I point at the camera, they won't be real with me.
yeah,
So I'll relay it to you guys later, like the general sentiment of like how do Paraguayan guys see Paraguayan women? Because if you hear from like you were saying, a bunch of Aussies that there might be some kind of fetish factor, curiosity factor that your normal Paraguayan is not going to get, or because local Paraguayans earn a lot less. What do they have to deal with? What do we have to deal with? And I'm kind of in the middle too. And like
yeah,
somebody who understands more Spanish, like the girls are gonna. It might be good at the beginning, but then they could really hold you to like a whole nother standard, and they're not fucking putting kid gloves on with you. We're
yeah,
not fucking translator apps. Like none of that shit's going down when I interact with girls. So they'll come at me fucking full force, like if we have any sort of even minor disagreement and stuff. So like I'll get the feisty Latina, the good and the bad from that feisty Latina, like in a way quicker time span. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So yeah, man, I don't know. It's a hell of a thing, and like even Aaron though, like I like Aaron lived a lot of life in your short time, your 3 weeks here. Because
Man,
you,
it
and your
felt it felt like a lifetime almost.
yeah,
And you know what's a weird thing too, and it really sounds bad for me to say, like, um, comparing it to my hometown is like some of the people I met, it literally feels like I had been friends with them for years, like in a weird way, like just because of how open the Paraguayans were, especially like there at Pinedo or at the food park, like the one that has the cerveceria. It was like super cool.
yeah,
Um, it's just like, yeah, it's yeah, it's a special thing for sure.
yeah. No, man, like it is, dude. And so I've been working online a lot, and sometimes I feel like I'm just so in even before when I was doing videos because it's my own thing. But like when I got back in like to a normal schedule,
Routine.
super engulfed in the Western world. Then like I take a step outside and I'm like, oh shit, I'm back in Paraguay, thank God. You know what I
Uh,
mean? But like yeah, I was watching actually back to back to back. The Large Man Abroad.
yeah, a really great channel too.
Man, that dude is so fucking smart. He's a great speaker and a wonderful storyteller. But he was in Greece forever, and he traveled the whole world. But he lived
He
in
was
Greece.
in the military, I believe, too, so he's well traveled as well.
Yeah, I want to say he's my age or around my age, mid 30s. Anyways, his wife is Turkish. He lived in Greece for a while. He had to go back to the U.S. I think to sell his home and take care of family, but he got a job in the U.S. and he just keeps it real, man. He's like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like this is awful. Like the food is awful. Nobody's fucking outside. Like there's no warmth with people. Everybody's on edge all the fucking time. Like
Yeah,
I worked 11 hours today on the fucking computer, which I never fucking did in Greece. Um, like it was just he said even my skin's fucked up and I don't even get enough sunlight like I used to. And I know exactly what he means, dude, for
yeah,
real. And I was like, that was my biggest fear too. If I had to go back to the U.S., like, dude, am I just gonna lose my fucking soul and my mind? I'm like, oh my god, dude. And the thing is, like, he's gonna have a newborn too, so there's like extra pressure on him to for like financial stuff.
yeah. A
So
lot of pressure, I would even say, too.
yeah, and he only slightly mentions that his relationship here and there, but his wife is Turkish, right? So I think that well, and he says they have the biggest, a lot of the same mindset. Like they want to get the out of the U.S. as soon as humanly fucking possible again,
Yeah,
or whether they go back to Greece or wherever. I mean, he was like, like Mexico's not my favorite place, but I'll even go to Mexico. I don't care. I just want to get the fuck out.
yeah,
I think he lives in Ohio, and I know exactly how the Midwest is. It can be really, really, really fucking dry if you don't do shit like constantly,
yeah,
um, especially in the winter. But yeah, so man, dude, it takes a toll on you, especially like every traveler who's been around the world for like half a year or beyond. And I'm not just talking about fucking 18-year-olds who do some student abroad shit. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking about when you take the initiative as an adult in your
yeah,
adult to like live somewhere, travel for a good amount of time, then you step back and foot in the US, you realize how so fucked shit is.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And yeah, it's just and then people really like don't even want to visit. In fact, there's another guy. Fuck, what's his name? I think Jordan. Fuck, I forgot.
Jordan.
He lived in Amsterdam and met his girlfriend in Amsterdam. He was in there for. I tried to do a reaction video, but my fucking computer didn't work.
I think I've
Uh,
heard. I think it sounds familiar.
I think like
Jordan.
Jordan Green or something like that. Anyways,
He's got like a girlfriend from Amsterdam or from the Netherlands.
yeah, he's a black dude or mixed or something like that. I think he's black, but anyways, he lives out in Amsterdam. Met his girlfriend out there and lived there for 14 months. And I tried to do a reaction video, but anyways, his biggest point was the same shit that I was saying. It's literally the exact same thing. He's like, I don't miss one fucking thing in the U.S. besides my family and my friends. And he said, in fact, if like for example, if they were like all to move in his example to like South Africa, I would never set foot back in the U.S. ever again. I was just like, dude,
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. Like if by some chance my family and all my best friends were to move to like Argentina, I would pretty much have zero reason ever to step foot back in the U.S. I'm like, for what?
yeah,
Even like a couple of weeks can take a toll on you economically, and just like when you realize too, just like how miserable people are. It's you know, and people just like dry conversation, their lack of ambition, their lack of global perspective, their lack of like all that shit is just like you almost kind of look at people like you're leagues behind, and especially
yeah.
like
And that's not to be like braggadocious or anything.
well, I
But
would never.
I felt the same way like that Ryan says, where you try to relate or share those kinds of conversations or travels, different cultures, or cost of living, or or even just things that are just outside of the US.
Yeah,
And the US is such a warped society.
yeah,
It's a mix of all these cultures that you don't really get to experience a singular culture like you do in Mexico or Thailand, or in my experience Paraguay,
hmm,
right? um and if you're an American that doesn't travel, or a Western that doesn't travel, like, you're more than likely going to be those kinds of people that just stick to what they know, right? So
hmm. Yeah. Let's catch up with Enaman. What are you saying?
yeah.
Number one, am I pronouncing your name right, brother? Is it Anon?
Anam Mon.
I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce it the Latin way or the whatever. Anyways, what?
Anon
He
Mon.
said there's levels. I've been in Latam, Latin America for 10 years, Paraguay for two, so I'm sensitive to the locals' perspectives. Yes. So a lot of the other, oh yeah, I keep forgetting, man. You're the one in that Garcia. Okay. So a lot of the other expat YouTubers I've already lived that, or I know is bullshit or whatever. So anyway, okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like when I know exactly what you mean. Like
But also he says right here, he says, "Man, I took an ear beating from an American expat the other week about what do you do for work down here in Encarnacion."
oh,
As a first question.
dude, I, Yeah. Hey, Aaron, hop back on when you can. I think you went out for a second. Okay, you're here. Okay. Um. Oh my god, dude, I get that all the fucking time. And it's never from locals, ever. Um. And well, you know what else is really nice too here is that I literally tell them I'm a YouTuber, and I get to say that with pride too, because I am, and I do make some money off of this, right? And it's not my base of money, especially right now. Now that I have my 9 to 5, Aaron went out on us. His phone probably died. He'll hop on, but yeah, I've gotten that too, man. All the time, and it's always from expats, always. And some are genuinely curious, like, how are you making it work? Is it money saved up? Are you in crypto? Are you this or that? But Westerners, they bring that here. They bring, what is your job title? Okay, Aaron's back here. All right, we got you back.
Yeah, you lost me for a second.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was just saying that, like, yeah, I totally get that from expats, and like, it's usually virtually, right? And then people usually know by because they follow me pretty closely. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's like, but to be like more unknown or just like living down here, and I don't know what you do, and I'm not even gonna ask you because I don't give a fuck. Like, you can tell us if you want, but it's not important to me. Um,
It's not the first question
no,
that should come out. To be honest,
yeah,
that kind of comes down. So
yeah. What up, Simon?
Simon,
Oh, Big Pimpin' is
El
on.
Simon,
Oh,
El
damn.
Simon.
Simon, you took a break from the sweethearts, huh? Damn. Simon got a break, bro. They finally set him free, bro. They've been kidnapping him right and left.
He got out of the cage for once.
Bro, Simon has been kidnapped, like, bro, like, I don't even know how many times. And
I
then,
haven't heard from him. I'm
and
just
then
kidding.
Ja- Jason got kidnapped too for a few days down here. His girl kidnapped him and took him all the way to fucking Encarnacion.
Damn.
Anyways, but Robbie, I be talking shit. But nah, dude, nah, Simon's been having a fucking grand old time out here. uh, yeah, man. But yeah, getting back to that, yeah, it's always expats and Westerners. Um, and it's just like, why would you bring that same bullshit here? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, bro, this is not a Thailand where you can be like a crash out and they're like, you won't go to fucking Asuncion and see like 3 dozen homeless, I don't know, Westerners or some shit. And like
Yeah.
you might see in like, I don't know, one of those countries that they're like super crash out because those places attract certain kinds of people who live the quick uh, gambling and prostitution life and all that crazy shit, and
Yeah.
high into all kinds of drugs and pills and shit. So you kind of understand how they get into those positions. But like here, it's
Very
like
much.
nobody will ask you that shit, especially a local, because you're like, oh well, he's just doing whatever the fuck he does. And then so what Simon just said is, you made me realize I I haven't been on a single date so far asking what I do for a living. That's usually the first question they ask me back home. That is so fucking true. So fucking true. Then and I swear to God, people when I first started talking about that, no, my very first video, I said that. The very first video on this channel, I said they won't ask you. Or like it'll be like very close to or the middle or the end, or they might not even ask you to the second, third date. It's like, um or in fact, yeah, or like later they're like, oh yeah, by the way, what do you do? But they won't even ask
Yeah.
you in that way. It's like, and it's actually the way you phrase it in Spanish is a qué te dedicas?
¿A qué te
Uh,
dedicas?
what do you dedicate your time to? which is a much more pleasant way to phrase it. Um,
Instead of saying what is your job or what do you do for work?
yeah, and I know that other countries might phrase it a different way, en que trabajas, but at least here in Paraguay, we say a que te dedicas, right?
Yeah,
So, like, yeah, like, what are you dedicated to? And
yeah,
so me, I'm like, well, see, because when you ask like, what's your job? It's like, okay, well, what's your primary source of income? That's what they're asking you in the West.
yeah,
So when I've always said, oh, I'm a YouTuber, they're like, oh, cool. um, because in fact, when I've told them what I've done in the States, I bore them to fucking hell, dude. I'm like, oh yeah, I worked for the Department of Health Services, and I was in this program, and I was in communications, and I was this special.
Mhm.
And they're like,
That's exactly what I've done before too.
they're like, what? Oh, you work in an office? Cool, that's cool.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, okay, you work for the government in the office. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
cool,
Like,
cool. But
like what?
you gave us this whole laundry list and poem
Right,
of.
right.
I've done that too myself.
I remember my fucking email. It was like, this is the
Uh,
government thing. Then this is the program. And this is the fucking shit. And then I was like, bro, it was like five fucking lines long to like get down to what I actually fucking do.
yeah,
And then you had to put your goddamn pronouns on top of that shit. And I was like, oh
nah. Hey,
my
I like what Anand Man put. He says I tell them I'm a vagabundo.
god. You
Vagabundo.
that, bro. Vagabundo.
Mm.
That if you guys don't know, that means bum. I
Yeah,
tell them I'm a bum.
it's just a fancy word of calling somebody a bum.
That's funny as
Literally.
hell.
I'm a
There's a great song, Vagabundo. I'm gonna listen to that shit after this by Yango Flow.
uh-huh.
Man, what's the fucking other dude's name? I don't know, or I forgot. Chestnutters, Super Chat doesn't work. Really? Super Chat don't work? Okay. Sent Cash App. Oh, nice, bro. Oh, you were the one, brother. Okay. Somebody sent me the other day as Cash App. Now I know who it is. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I don't know why the fuck Super Chat don't work. That's fucking lame. Right. Anyways, I appreciate that.
That's dude.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that shit out. People from
The line.
they often network super heavy handed. Yeah, that's the thing. In fact, I have to calm Americans down when they immediately start talking business. Even to me, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear that shit. Like,
Yeah.
let's like let me know who the fuck you are before you like. We need to collaborate on this business, or you can make more money doing this. I'm like, oh, hold the fuck on. Who are you, bro?
Yeah.
I got to filter out the weirdos here. You know what I mean?
True.
Because I already dealt with one, dude. I already dealt with one fucking like stalker ass motherfucker,
Stalker.
bro. And that motherfucker was pissing me off, dude. He was pissing me off to the fucking core, fucking Aussie, like this fucking crypto king motherfucker. He was creating other fucking accounts, self-proclaimed ass fucking alpha dude, whatever. I'm like, bro, what fucking alpha creates all kinds of different accounts to fucking harass a YouTuber who barely has 1,000 subscribers? Oh, bro, you're such an alpha, bro. Like, go fuck
Right.
off. Anyways, Chester says it's not like they want to know that I'm a stripper. So,
I
so
saw
why
that one
would
earlier.
they?
I saw I was laughing.
Hell no. Yeah, dude. No, you're totally fucking right, man. You're totally right. Um, yeah,
Simon said in French it's vagabond. So many
yeah,
similar words.
yeah. That's that Latin.
That Latin Latino.
Français, s'il vous plaît. And but yeah, man. I don't know, man. We got pretty off topic, but that's. Whew, I don't know, man. You got any last things to say? Otherwise, I think we'll probably wrap this up.
uh I mean for now, like to the viewers, just you guys are serious about this for residency or traveling or with looking into Paraguay, as I've always said, reach out to Ryan. Now's the time. Reach him out. You know, even if you don't decide to, like for residency or anything, just reach out. Like do a call with him. It may open your eyes to it may open your eyes to get. Yeah, dude, I need to get my ass down there, dude. I know, man. I gotta restack though. I gotta restack money wise. I gotta set myself up. Well, obviously with this new career with the merchant marine stuff. Because it'll definitely give me the flexibility to spend more time outside the U.S. when I decide to. Like if it's gonna be Mexico, or in this case Paraguay for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you guys are serious about like whether you guys are a digital nomad or you guys are in the trades or, or whatever, yeah, man, shit, horrible. Well, if I, well, I'm not here in California, so of course, man, we're known for our super lottos and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
For some reason,
yeah, no,
this too. People play lotto like fucking nuts, dude. The Wisconsin lottery is like a big ass thing.
it's like a religious kind of thing for real. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, my last words and to update you guys is I'm gonna be starting this career pretty soon in the coming months. Um, you know, um, I'm gonna get on my channel pretty soon. Once I get this paperwork out of the way with the job that I'm in the hiring process for. And I'll just update you guys on where I'm at. But I don't know the plan. I've told Ryan before. I think the plan for me to get back to Paraguay. Hopefully it's by the end of the year, if not next year, guaranteed. Um, and hopefully for a month. I want to shoot for a month at least. You know, at least a month, and then if not more. Um, and hopefully I can bring my dad down. That'll be pretty cool.
I would try to stay here for more if you already got permanent residency. I would try to just like,
Yeah,
I mean, just because you could probably spend less money than going back to the states.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah, yeah. No, I think looking at the numbers, yeah, I would.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I just gotta time it out and see for sure. What the time frame's gonna look like. Simon says, don't forget polo. For hey Simon, my dad's been asking you too. He's like, ese Simon, ese Simon.
yeah, yeah, dude. Simon down here now among the ladies.
For real.
Hell no.
Uh, my dad to this day, he's still like, ese pichi Simon.
Oh man, dude.
He
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
And I told motherfuckers, I was like, hey, bro, y'all think Simon playing, man? He ain't gonna tell you about
Oh
it. But
man,
this out here caring about
Simon. If you guys don't know, Simon's the Leonardo DiCaprio of South America, dog.
it.
I swear.
Yeah. The pictures just
For
keep getting
real.
better and shit. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
that's hilarious, bro. Ooh-wee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Simon, Simon's the he's a real one. And
Man, but damn,
yeah,
dude. Yeah, it's a good time out here, man. People should try to make it their plan A if they can in any fucking humanly way possible.
yeah,
And like honestly, dude, like I guess the last serious thing I'll say is like, dude, I don't fucking think about retiring at 65. Are you fucking out of your goddamn mind, bro? I'm retiring at 50. Fuck that, dude.
I'm actually thinking of that too myself.
Yeah,
Especially this kind of career that I'm gonna do. I mean, I can do 10 years, 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years max before I even hit 50. And
yeah,
I could be setting myself in a position where I may not even have to work, you know, and
yeah,
whatever side hustle, YouTube, real estate, if I get into remote work by any chance, this is just a foundational move for me financially, the career that I'm going to be doing. So, and also because I want to travel at the end of the day too. Definitely, I want to. We'll be able to work, travel, save money, and then invest that money, in a smart way for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. Well, I mean, me too. Like, well, when I picture having a house here, like, I pretty much just want to buy it off the bat. like
Yeah.
or a condo, right? I don't give a fuck if it's tiny here, um, because that takes away so much pressure that so many people carry their mortgages on them for 30 fucking years in the States. I mean, even here too.
Yeah.
But think about it. Like a lot of us aren't even going to have the ability to buy a house till we're 35 or 40. So you want to pay a mortgage until potentially after you already retire
Yeah.
or right up to the line.
Yeah. No.
Rather own a house before 40 in my mid 30s. I mean, I'm already going to be 34, so like hopefully like 35 or 36. And then from there, just life kind of goes on way easier mode.
Yeah.
You know, you have a functioning vehicle and then Paraguayan bills and food. And, you really start stepping up the cost when you have a family, obvious. But,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, man, like online work, like that's what I'm in now. But I also have my online projects. And, oh, you guys are going to be the first ones to know. I'm partnering with My Latin Life to do residency for you guys. Like I'm gonna be pretty hands off, but I'm gonna point you guys in the direction for My Latin Life. We talked about it this last weekend, so because people ask me all the time, and they ask me who do I trust. Like I've talked to him about it. I know he's solid. He has good price points for what he offers. So, and honestly, I won't have the time myself to do it. So,
Yeah.
if you're wondering now where you should go, that's going to be the place, and I'll start making announcements. And actually, I'll bring Vance on the channel when I do an interview, maybe this week or next. Probably not this week. It's already Wednesday, but
Will they come out with the interview you did on his channel pretty soon?
I think so. I gotta actually
I'm
read.
I'm,
I'm like just telling like you might as well maybe put an announcement before our audio comes out, but we'll see. Uh,
I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be pretty cool. I've seen
yeah.
his channel, so he's definitely interesting. He gets he interviews a lot of YouTubers and
Well,
podcasters.
yeah, and I'll tell you why I finally chose like who I want to like because he already has his contacts on the ground well before I got. But I wanted somebody young, dynamic, like me. I wanted somebody who speaks truth and is not a fucking guru. Like a lot
Not
of
se-
people.
not
Oh,
not selling you a bunch of BS, bunch of yeah, like just yeah, people that just they paint a pretty picture, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. It'll be. I mean, it's gonna be mutually beneficial for us, but I mean, like even for you guys, or me to finally just let you know who to go to. Uh, you know, because it's a lot of work for me on the ground, especially for people who don't speak Spanish. Like I would have to
Yeah.
attend a lot of stuff with you guys. Yeah, I could make even more money than if I were to not partner with somebody. But the thing is, like, that's never been my philosophy. Like, work with people who are the true experts, who have done it before you, and who you recognize who are solid people. Like,
Yeah.
even just the way like Vance talks and stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, I've talked to him off camera for like the interview and stuff, but even hearing his channel and him talk, like, I'm like, this guy's a real one.
Yeah.
Um, and the thing is like a lot of these other guys, you don't even know if they're in it for the long run. So like, are you just gonna pick up and leave and go to fucking Malaysia tomorrow, or once you cash out here in Asuncion, you're just gonna fuck around and go to Dubai and sit on rooftops with princes and just completely forget about what your project here, or pass it off to other people who don't give a shit. You know, it's like there ain't no Dubai in my fucking plans. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Dubai's not personally to me it doesn't look like a long term kind of destination. I feel like it's more of a fad. It's more for networking, for like the ultra rich. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, so and one thing I'd say for the young guys is don't expect to make money down here locally. Don't want to be an old guy with no money. Yes,
yeah,
that almost be a given for people. Like you want to have something saved up. Also, like Like it helps to put money down for a year, like I did. You're gonna save even more money like that. Um, have side projects, have a YouTube channel, do something, even if it doesn't start off the best. Like it at least will grow into something with time. But yeah, I mean, like pretty much when I want to start a restaurant, because I actually do one day. Well, not even like a full restaurant, like more like a bar. But that's kind of like a retirement job for me. Like I want to like start it, get it running, and like pass it off to like my nephew to be the manager. Like, but that's not a primary goal of mine. That's like down the line, like 10 years from now, 5 to 10 years. Like all the
Yeah.
other stuff needs to be running way before that. You know what I mean? And honestly, I would even plan to have it fail. If it failed, it failed. But I wouldn't like depend on that fully, right? Because you can't charge people as much down here either. They won't fucking pay as much as they will in America.
Yeah.
So. But if you have a lot of money to play with, or say you have residency in a house and a car paid off, and you're a single guy and you're barely paying shit, and I mean, fuck it. You can start a business out here. I could literally open this up, take my car out here, put up a sign, and start a fucking bar right here. Literally, if I want to. Um,
Crazy.
so it's that easy. That's the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can do it. It will be easier, but don't expect to like become a millionaire off a restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you like I don't know, having a wonderful idea and it's in the perfect fucking spot downtown and everybody's going, it's the biggest hype for like 10 years fucking straight, then okay, whatever, but don't count on it.
Yeah.
uh, and I'm on, oh, yeah, one thing is you'll learn a lot about Paraguay right off the bat if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if you're referring to residency or if you're just referring to everything,
Yeah.
like beyond residency, I totally agree with you. Like that's why I say to people also my philosophy is like get rid of the translation apps ASAP. You're going to learn a lot slower. And not to say that you shouldn't use them, especially when you're doing important stuff, like really important stuff. But
Yeah.
like
Checking documents or that kind of thing.
yeah, or even like even when you're seeing girls, like okay, maybe like you do it on the first day, the second, but then like ease off of it, even with the girl. Uh, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, man. To each his own. But I'm just saying, like, you'll learn faster when you do ease off of those things. And you listen to locals. Locals, they always have the best advice. If,
They do.
yeah, even like how to save money and all this shit. Like,
They'll even tell you where to invest. That was happening my time down there. They were saying if you really want something, like you're better off land than getting an apartment. That was pretty
yeah,
much like 9 times out of 10. I was told that. So
yeah. Even if you're not even buying yet, like where to rent and stuff too.
yeah,
Like my lawyer was telling me, and he's not gonna make shit off of it. He was just literally telling me like at the edge between Capiata and Itagua, there's nice little modern houses that literally have pools in them that are about 150 a month. So I was like, it's pretty far out, but I kind of want a pool because we're in like I probably wouldn't use that much, but it is a fucking great thing to have, especially when I want to start having people over and stuff. But it's like that shit ain't even on. I know it's not online anywhere online.
Mm.
Maybe it might be one day, but like a lot of these are like literally just like being constructed and built. So like he was kind of like telling me first. You know what I mean? Uh,
yeah, by
now,
word of mouth.
yeah. Now it's up to me if I want to spread the message far and wide. But yeah, I don't think I'll keep that to myself for now. You know what I mean? But I guess you guys know about it. That's cool. Um, but like even something like that, it's like, 150 bucks with a newer little house with a pool. Hmm. You know what I mean? I'm like, fucking hey, dude. Like that. Like talk about saving money. Whoo-wee. If you're bringing in any kind of money, dude, you could. That's good, dude.
That's yeah,
Like even here,
100%.
75. But imagine if I get down to even 150. Like, come on, bro. That's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, Simon and Paraguay. I did it alone, the residency process. I have learned so much how Paraguay works. Yes,
I,
yes,
I give a lot of praise to Simon. The
yes,
fact that he did it on his own, man.
yeah,
I probably would have done it on my own, but because my time was so limited, you
yeah.
know, I went ahead and did the lawyer and turned out really good too. But yeah, like what the way Simon did it, that's big respect for that because not everybody. I mean, probably some people will do it, but it's like not everybody does it. So somebody like Simon that does it on his own, that's huge.
Exactly. That's the biggest caveat, you guys. If you have the time for it, right? So Simon did have the time, and he was also knew that he had to come back twice to finish what he started back in September. But yeah, I like even when I did my residency video, like the top 10 tips or whatever it was, 12 tips or whatever. One of those things I said is you can do this on your own. Now compare that to these other guys; they won't tell you that.
Yeah,
Simon will. I will. Because you can do it on your own. You're just more on the government's time. You can do a couple things that Simon. If you go to Simon's channel if you want more info, he'll tell you like what things you can pay a little bit more to get like expedited, etc. in the
yeah.
moment. But yeah, you can do it on your own. It's more if you have the willpower,
The
uh,
patience.
the patience, and the time. The time is the biggest part. Um, Hang on, man. The other guys have all blocked me on Twitter. Really, dude? I gotta get on Twitter, bro. My Latin life, Vance told me I should get on Twitter, bro. I'm gonna fucking rock the world if I get on Twitter. Like Twitter is bad for me.
Wait. Get more details on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm on. Yeah, spreading too much truth, no BS. Oh, dude, that's so good. I'm glad.
But I know I'm like like the other guys have you blocked, meaning the other guys giving services. I assume.
Is it, you probably let them know like, hey, go fuck them. They're charging too much, and you couldn't do
Yeah,
this by yourself, right, or something like that. I'm assuming,
that's what I'm assuming. That's what I assume. What I know I'm saying.
or that they're ripping you off. Oh, Plan B,
Damn.
dude. I know. Don't let me. Okay, I'm gonna be honest about something, right? Like, I'm not talking about him as a person. I'm literally just talking about business. But like, me and Aaron literally went to, yeah, good. Oh, okay. Yeah, literally, you just kept it to the fucking facts then. Well,
Yeah.
you're in some slights like I do too. But but anyways, no, that's cool. Shit, I'm the same as you. So no, but nah, dude, I totally believe that. Just providing real costs. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you know
Yeah.
who else is real is what's the what's the long haired dude you guys met? Wild Adventure
Oh,
or Wild what's his name?
what is his name? His name was. I don't want to hop off. I think his
French flight.
channel. Yeah, I don't want to hop off the channel, but I think his name is Adventure Paul. His name is Paul, but it's Adventure Paul.
Is
And
it? It's not like Adventure Freaks or something like that, or is that?
no. It's just Adventure with Paul, I believe.
Oh, Adventure with Paul. Okay.
Really, it's very nice guy. I mean, myself, Simon, and my dad, we met him. Yeah,
Nice.
super nice guy. And
Oh,
he was very straightforward too.
oh,
Yeah,
have
have a
okay. Okay.
yeah. I think Simon remembers. I can't
Tyler
remember
Dan.
his
Yeah.
channel's name, but it's something with adventure. Have your adventure, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah, my history is complicated, but yeah, I was born here, adopted, lived in the states, then came back, and now I live here again.
yeah.
That's why I'm American. But
I'll have
yeah.
breakfast with them. Yeah, we. I'm trying to remember the cafe we went to, Simon, but that was a really good spot we went to.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. So adventure with Paul. Uh, adventure with Paul.
adventure with
He
Paul.
also keeps it real. He's like, yeah, you guys can totally do this by yourself.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, you sure can.
probably.
Especially if you have the time, for sure.
Yeah.
And wait, I'm missing some others, I think. Yeah, you were just providing real costs. So yeah, back to Plan B. Yeah, man. I mean, he just charged too much. That's it. That's really it.
Yeah. Remember Ryan? I told you about how much he was charging.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
looked at it together.
Yeah, this was a what if doing the math, this was a year and a half ago. Close to 4 grand.
Probably even more. Yeah,
Probably more by now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if it were if I were to continue this game, I would be charging like literally like two or slightly over two, right? If I were to continue it like by myself with my lawyer, just like Aaron got, but I don't want to be in the game. It's too much work. It's too much. And I'm a what? No way, dude.
That's salty.
Stop it. Is this for real? Plan B replied publicly thanking me for the info and then low key blocked me. What, dude? Talk about freedom. Freedom of speech. I thought we were all about freedom of speech here.
Thought it
No.
was a free market.
The only time I've ever blocked people is if they're literally fucking stalking me or literally insulting me like on personal levels or anybody I know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I keep it uh, free flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's honestly, you guys, that's another reason too. I didn't step in the game right off the bat. I know I could have made money. I know because people ask me like fucking crazy. Like even when I first fucking came here with 300 subscribers, I could have. But then guess what? I would have turned into one of them. Well, not like that, but like the thing is, in fact, you know what? I got a couple consultations, right? And you know why they even told me that they chose me for consultations? Like, oh, you're not selling us shit. Well,
That's a
and
huge difference.
I've lived here
Huge
for
difference.
longer too, but like it's because like at the end of the call, I wasn't just like, "How would you like to buy this service of mine?" You know, it's because a lot of times when you schedule consultations and like while I'm working with Vance, if you do actually schedule a call with them, it is because you are looking for residency. Like there's no whatever about it, but like some of these guys like they're just they want to pretend like they know absolutely everything down here in Paraguay, but they don't. I know they fucking don't. Just like you were saying.
Yeah.
But on top of that, on top of being the know-it-alls, which they're not, but like they always want to point you to something, right? Um, and I don't know, man. I just didn't want that vibe coming off of me. Like, and also another thing, the reason. Okay, I'll just tell who the fuck I'm talking about. The Paraguay pathways, dude. Like, dude, whenever I'm like, oh my god, I know senators, guys. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck. Look it up and send it to them. I don't care. But
Yeah.
now the reason that like I don't vibe with him, dude, is because like imagine me as a Paraguayan fucking around with Paraguayan senators. Bro, if you know anything about Paraguayans, they don't like senators, bro. They're the most corrupt motherfuckers around here. So if I
Yeah.
like, he literally like get off the fucking plane, it's like sitting on fucking rooftops. Oh, well, the senators told me, and I'm like, bro, if I were to do that shit, my own people would not fuck with me, and I'm here for the long run. So I don't really want to fuck with senators, bro, like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'll interview
Yeah.
or something like that or
True.
something like that. I'll interview a senator maybe down the line if I fucking want to. I probably still won't, but like
It's
hanging
yeah. It's
out
just
with them,
it's
nah, dude, I'm cool. I don't need
yeah.
my own people hating me or like uh, thinking I'm taking political sides and shit. I don't need
Yeah.
my I don't need you guys like thinking I'm all about that because I'm not. And I'm just like, man, fuck out of here. Okay, dude, that still blows my mind. About Plan B.
Same.
He publicly thanked you and then you blocked you just for giving the info. And yeah, if you're anything like me, yeah, I throw in some slates. I'm like, yeah, they don't know what they're fucking talking about or something like that. But even something like that small, a lot of Westerners would be like, "You insulted me." Like, okay,
They wear their heart on their sleeve.
yeah. Is there an American community down there in Asuncion? Yeah. There's an expat community, not like exclusively American. But even then, it's like it's kind of spread out. Well, it's condensed in the Villamora area, but even then, it's not like I don't know.
It's mixed. I think
Yeah,
I think I only met like one American. I don't know. I don't. To be honest, I mean, to be honest, I don't even think I met any. To be honest, it was mostly Europeans, Canadians, other Latin American people.
yeah. Americans aren't the ones who are primarily coming. It's Europeans, predominantly out of Westerners. Australians, Canadians, then like Americans are like last place. There's starting to be more now. There's definitely starting to be more, even before the election and shit. But no, predominantly, yeah, it was more, and still is more Europeans for sure. Hands off. But they're really quiet about it too. Like the Germans and stuff. They're not doing fucking YouTube channels. Like a couple of them. You know, it's more the loudmouth Americans who are here for 5 seconds and then they fucking pretend they know everything. Or other Westerners. Yeah. So, man, I listed off the government doc costs for the change from temporary to permanent. Paint then block. Yeah, that's it. That little of a fucking thing, dude. That's super legit information too. That's like incredibly important information.
Very.
They're all goofs, man. It's all good. Yeah, man. And here, I'll be honest about something else. I wasn't gonna bring this shit up, but Paul actually asked me for some information, right? It was like I was a couple months in, had to do with like how to get your pet here and stuff, and I laid it all out there, all of it. Like I was like every single little detail I possibly could. I sent it all to him, and he got back to me like well over a day later and stuff. I was just like, bro, you asked me for a favor. You know what I mean? You asked me for information, but I mean, maybe he was that incredibly busy or something like that. But it's just like if I'm gonna ask somebody for like that intricate of information, like I'm gonna wanna at least like acknowledge that they sent me that information like ASAP. Especially if like I know that you're gonna be able to benefit off of it by passing that information on, if that makes sense. Anyways, I don't know, man, but he was just like, it's a lot of like, it's not just him, but there's a lot of like take, and little,
Not give or share.
yeah, and it doesn't even have to be giving like information, just like I don't know, and he kind of, yeah, I don't know, man. It was just like,
Having some reciprocity.
but yeah,
I
but
think that's
even in conversation about your life type of thing, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Even like oh hey man, like, or like I checked out like one video of yours and like I saw your story, or like I think it's really cool that you came back to meet your roots, or anything just like a little bit more like on a human level would have been cool. And the thing is like these guys don't tell their stories, so I don't have anything to even like go off of.
They no, well they do, Ryan, but it's kind of like it's very vague.
You have
It's
to really like pick, I don't know, man, like pick it out or something, like, but I'm not willing to watch their shit for like, I don't know. I guess sometimes,
no, it's true.
Nomad
It's
Elite,
true.
he gave a little bit more of his story like back in the day. Now he's just like, I don't know. He's I don't know, whatever, man. You can do whatever you want. Like, all he does now, it seems like, he just bring on every single person that he gets residency to, which
Clients.
is which is cool, man. But then again, it's kind of like the same version of all the same shit. Oh, the women are beautiful. Oh yeah, Paraguay's so awesome. Villa Mora is so much more uh, developed than I thought it would be. Paraguay doesn't have fucking mud huts everywhere like I thought it would be, and it's like the same version of the same shit. Sometimes I do like hearing some of these guys' stories, their backstories. But when it comes to like, give me your experience of Paraguay in the last 15 days, it's all the same shit. Most Westerners here, right? But anyways, okay. And I met some of the American guys. All they talked about was American politics. Oh god, I fucking hate that shit too, dude. Like I'll bring in politics sometimes in my video if I think it makes sense or some shit, or I want to say something. But like for me to like sit down and shit, I know exactly what you mean because that was yeah, I know people do that. I'm like, bro, come on, dude, let's just not. What up, Benjamin? How you doing, my man?
Benjamin.
The immigrant consultant
Consultants.
had a big part in the downfall of Canada. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yep, take. Okay, you agree, yeah, with that take, yeah, mentality. So yeah, grinds my gears for sure. Okay, you guys, I think we're gonna hop off. We've been on for well over 2 hours, so and Aaron's got to go sleep. I gotta go sleep. No, I'm like fucking 4 hours ahead of you. But thanks everybody for hopping on. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody. And yeah, I know I haven't been coming out with like full fledged videos and stuff, but it's for a reason.
Yeah.
But that's why I try to do these lives though, just so you all know I'm still here and and whatever, man. People do actually watch these back too now, even though they're
Yeah.
long as fuck. This is pretty much podcasting at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just it's done live.
I always knew I was more of a podcaster anyway. People are like, oh, like, John, why are your videos so long? I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I don't just hit my like a lot, and okay. That's the last thing I'll say about the YouTubers. A lot of these fucking guys have editors. I don't have editors. It's like I don't just here's my top 5 points, and I bring in fucking Bianca on who looks fine as fuck, and like, hey Bianca, yeah, throw me a question. Like, is the weather nice in Paraguay? Why, yes, it is, Bianca. I'm like, Christ, like, holy crap. Uh, anyway, Bianca,
uh,
fine as hell. Yeah, I don't know if you say that. Damn, boy.
dude.
Yeah, just like, hey, bro. Woo-wee, bro. I'm pissing people off, bro. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. We're out of here, you guys.
All
Take care
right.
of yourselves. Um, yeah. Fuck, it's pouring, dude. I wanted to fucking go to the store, god damn it. I think I still might if there's not a river outside. All right, y'all. Thanks, man. Here for the Insider Paraguay info, not Plan B propaganda. All
That's right.
right, man. I'll see you later. Y'all take care, and yeah, yeah. Till the next live.
Pretty soon, next live. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.